Hey guys, Randy with Snap Judgments coming back at you with some bonus content today. Listen, given the several events during my live stream this morning that really kind of cost a little bit on quality. Number one, my apologies. I said 8 a.m. yesterday, showed up at 9 a.m. I just completely miswrote my reminder. I just set the wrong time. Thought it was thought I was going to be here at 9 a.m. So, my apologies to anybody that was waiting on me. And, I hope you did enjoy the stream when it got on. Once again, my apologies. So, anyway, a little bit of bonus content here. We're going to do a 7-round mock draft. Patriots specific. We're going to run through all the picks that we've got and talk about why we're going to grab the guys, where we're going to grab them. This will go, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. All right. So without any further ado, let's get started. Let's give it a moment. Let's see if these run through a little faster. I'm not sure if the stream is hurting it. So again, you see these trades here. It says offer trade. It always starts out like that. The trades portion of this simulator is not the best, in my opinion. It's taken a while again. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we're flying through the picks. This is what I'm used to seeing on this site. All right. So here we are in the first round. You can see a number of our ideal picks. Dylan Thieneman, even Caleb Banks off the board already. Emmanuel Pregnon gone. Vega Ioane gone. Kenyon Sadiq gone. Where is we scroll past Denzel Boston? Did he go early? Denzel Boston went 8. Wildly early. All right, so let's see what that leaves us on the board. Again, I don't like using the trade feature. So we'll look at the wide receiver group. Chris Brazzell, arguable as to whether or not he's worth a first-round pick. Jacoby Lane's up there on our board. Malachi Fields is up there on our board. Chris Bell with the ACL injury dropped down in value. Ted Hurst is a popular name. You're going to hear a lot during the Senior Bowl. This is a big body but thin guy. Not quite as fast as Chris Brazzell, but same athletic type of mold. I think he's a little shorter than Chris Brazzell. Really gets off the line well. Rising up boards lately. You see him at 43 here on our board, but he is probably going to be a day 2 pick. Running back, we don't really have anybody worth a round 1 pick here. The only running back in this class anybody really considers worth a first-round pick is Jeremiah Love, and he went early. Offensive tackle, Caleb Tiernan, again, real big 6'7" guy, short arms. Same issue as Will Campbell, and it's not that that's completely disqualifying, but you do not want an entire offensive line built up of outliers. Move over to the inside of the offensive line, Jennings Dunker. We've talked about him before. Now, he's someone who could be worth a pick in this range. Connor Liu would have been worth a pick prior to tearing his ACL as well. I was a little bit surprised when he came out, to be honest with you. Let's take a look at the defensive line, the edge and the defensive line groups. We've got Cassius Howell, who we picked in the past. Malachi Lawrence, we talked about during my live stream this morning. And then if we take a look at the linebacker, safety, and corner groups, C.J. Allen, primarily a run-stopping linebacker out of Georgia. Anthony Hill Jr. is a guy who's a very talented, someone who you can kind of bounce around a little bit in that linebacking group and get a lot of different things out of. So looking at all the options here, I am thinking we go with an edge, and that's going to be either a Cassius Howell or a Malachi Lawrence. I think here I'm going to go ahead and take Malachi Lawrence. We're going to test those physical traits. And that's again, it's kind of a preference thing, but the thing is, Mike Vrabel has shown that he's not particularly worried about the traits and kind of the physical build, right? He's shown that in the past, not even just with Will Campbell, but also he drafted Roger McCreary, a cornerback out of Auburn when he was in Tennessee. He started Taylor Lewan, who also had some shorter arms, and drafted Peter Skoronsky, who was a left tackle out of Northwestern that ended up playing guard in the league. Um, so anyway, getting back into this, we drafted an edge in the first round. We went with Malachi Lawrence. You see him right there. And you see how the board's fallen since. I look at this, Carson back in the second round. It's interesting. Um, I look at this and think, I see Jonah Coleman there, and I really like him. He's a little bowling ball type, 5'8", 5'9", 230, hard to take down, good in pass protection, would help the red zone offensive issues a lot. Then I also see Jacoby Lane here, who's a favorite target of mine. That's a legitimate deep threat, would be great in that kind of like what we call a sacrificial X role, right? Where he doesn't get a whole lot of targets, but the ones he does, they make an impact. And then you've got Michael Trigg here, tight end out of Baylor, with just gigantic hands. He's made some real highlight catches. He's one of those guys that if you watch his highlights, you're like, why is this guy not in the top 10? And then you watch his full tape and you're like, I see why this guy's not in the top 10. But he could be, and he's definitely got the physical traits and tools and so forth. I think that what I'm going to do here in this particular situation is spin around and take a look at the interior offensive line, see what's available there. Keelan Rutledge, a run blocking interior offensive lineman out of Georgia Tech. And see, the thing is, I look at this board and I see guys like Jaden Roberts, who I want to target later, Pat Coogan, I'm interested in later, Inez Cooper, I'm interested in later. So I don't feel a real need right now with Emmanuel Pregnon and Ioane off the board in the first round to target an interior offensive lineman in the second round. If I was going to, it would probably be Jake Slaughter. Flip over here, look at the offensive tackle group. Blake Miller going and lining him up at right tackle makes a lot of sense to me. But I don't think that's what I'm going to do in this particular situation. I think what I'd like to do is flip over to the offensive playmaker side of the ball, and I'm looking at either Ted Hurst, Jonah Coleman, or Jacoby Lane, all right? I won't pull up just the running backs and wide receivers there. Why don't we pull up the tackle too? We're going to look at the skill players essentially, and we're going to try and put points on the board. And I think Jonah Coleman's the guy that I want to go with here. I think there are big body wide receivers that we could grab later. I think Jacoby Lane might be available in the third round. I think that Malachi Fields will be available in the third or fourth round. And so I think that we go ahead and grab that running back. I think there are other options available at running back also. Katron Allen comes to mind. Now you see these trades are always interesting to me because they pop up on my pick, but then they don't include any of these picks. So, all right, yeah, you see Jacoby Lane here available, Ted Hurst here available. Now, we went Malachi Lawrence in the first. Had we not, Joshua Josephs is a guy that hangs around late day 2, early day 3. He kind of comps a little bit to like James Pierce from last year's class. Those Tennessee edges and defensive linemen can be hard to figure out just because of the rotations that Tennessee uses on the field. But Josephs is another guy who's like not useful in run defense at all, but has great get off getting after the quarterback and is a good pass rusher, DPR type of guy. Okay. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab Jacoby Lane here. That's going to give Drake May a deep target down the field. And we'll see what's available here for our 2 picks in round 4, which pop up at 125 and 130. This is a place that I tend to like to fill out some spots here. So like I like Lander Barton here. I have been known to take Katron Allen here. Deontay Lawson is another player that I like. Hezekiah Masses would give us some depth in the cornerback room. So there are a number of options here. Again, we've gone edge, running back, and wide receiver already. Um, so I think what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to go with the linebacker, Lander Barton. Now, this is 6'5", 235, 240 frame, great coverage linebacker, not much use in the pass rush game at all, but a great coverage linebacker, good instincts, comes from a football family, just a smart college player. Oh, no, Ezekiel Massis went. That was going to be my next pick. Oh, well, that happens. All right, so we move along. I guess I should take him first. It's my bad. Well, you know what? We're going to go and grab a different cornerback in Malik Muhammad, talented prospect out of Texas. Didn't have quite the year we expected, but nobody in Texas really did they? I think he could come in and potentially develop and be ready behind Carlton Davis, be ready behind Christian Gonzalez whenever somebody goes down to an injury, or we eventually flip those positions over. Nobody sticks around forever, no matter how much we like them. All right, here we are in round 5, and let's see who we've got available to us. All right. Oh, whoops. All right. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and take Pat Coogan. We saw him play in the championship the other day, and it's funny. I'm watching it the other day, and I'm like, who is number 78? Man, that guy is a big, strong guy on the line, and it was Pat Coogan. And I believe he plays left guard for them. I think that he would probably play, backup interior, maybe back up to left guard and spot in at left tackle if he needed to. He's certainly got the size, 6'5", 320-ish, something in that neighborhood. So I think he could pull that off. Now back here, we still haven't grabbed a safety yet. We're going to grab Earl Little Jr. here. Another guy, versatile, good athletic tools. I'm still kind of doing a deep dive on some of these later round guys. I know a lot of them. But you know what? All right. Damon Claiborne. I like that. I think this is a guy he's a talented running back, and I think he could also contribute in the kick return game. One of the few guys who I think it's very hard to translate kick return production in the NFL, or from college to the NFL, just given the changes in the game. So we went with Christian Gray, another cornerback out of Notre Dame. I figure him and Malik Muhammad would, kind of battle it out and see who could end up as cornerback 3 or 4, rather, I guess. And there, Vincent Anthony Jr., that's another edge rusher, 6'5", 250, out of Duke. He really popped on my radar in the Illinois game over J.C. Davis. He sacked our quarterback 3 times. Now, J.C. Davis is another NFL prospect, another late day 3 type guy. But Vincent Anthony Jr., he's exactly the type of guy that you want to throw a late round pick at and just kind of see how he develops. Excuse me. Now, this is our last pick in the draft, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use it on a linebacker. This is a different linebacker than Lander Barton, okay? Lander Barton, we talked about big, long frame, good coverage. Okay, Wesley Basaint, this is a middle linebacker, captain of the defense, run stuffing type of guy. He's 4 years starting at Miami. He's led the defense there. They give us a B grade for that. They're haters. But You saw Mohamed Toure, his teammate, also on there. The thing with I've got kind of an eye out for some of these Miami players, and I was thinking about Inez Cooper instead of Pat Coogan, um, because Alonzo and AJ Highsmith, who were heads of our scouting department here in New England, are both Miami alumni. So it makes sense to me that there would be a little bit of an eye there, especially where Alonzo was recently the general manager of the Miami football team, and Wesley Bissainthe played on that team. So I'm looking at him as a potential late round option. Again, Inez Cooper is another one. The center there, Breckermeyer, I think his name is. There are a couple guys there that I'm looking as late day 3 ads, just because they should have some personal history with like the head of our scouting department, which is usually bodes well for your draft position. So, anyway, that is our little bonus content there. Went 15, 16 minutes. Sorry about the complications this morning. This is Randy from Snap Judgments. Subscribe for more content, and we'll be coming at you tomorrow morning with another live stream episode, potentially at 8 or 9. I'm undecided on that right now. I'll post tonight on the Snap Judgments Facebook page and on the YouTube page. I'll schedule it for the morning. All right. Have a great day, guys. Hope you enjoyed this.